Christian Hugill is at the City Ground now. Christian.
Nicola, we're still the best part of an hour from kick-off, but the atmosphere is really building already here. Fans started to make their way in. The players are training behind me. They're just about to start, which means I might be getting balls kicked towards me any minute, so I'll have to make this brief. But we're joined by a very special guest. Sherwood is here, and he's a bit of a legend in his first year back at Nottingham Forest. Are you enjoying yourself? Yes, fantastic. And Nottingham Forest going to win tonight? Yes, fantastic. Sherwood, have a lovely time. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Sherwood. What a legend Sherwood is.
I think it's very sad that it's such a big deal, but I think I can understand some of the pressures that they're under. Social media, the attention that players will get from that. I think also the reaction from opposition fans, a very small minority, will sadly use that as a way of trying to niggle the player and so forth, and affect their performance on the pitch. And I think that's one of the key reasons why we don't hear of as many players coming out as there have been.
We don't really know a lot about them. We've done a few analysis on them, so it's come to line-outs, but we don't really know a lot, so we're just going to go stick to our processes. You know, we do our line-outs, we do it how we want to do it, our scrum, so if we just stick to them, we can't go wrong.
Yes, well, everything's more or less back to normal here at Stenton Market today. Still pretty cold, as you can probably tell, but not nearly as bad as it was on Saturday night when temperatures got down to below freezing. Now, if like me, you were coming back from the pub at the time, you probably would have noticed it just from being outside for a few minutes. But what about a whole night sleeping under the stars? Now, some of those that did are Emma and Leah from Clegg Solicitors. Now, Emma, when I spoke to you last week, you were understandably pretty concerned about combating the cold, but just how bad was it on Saturday?
It was cold. It was really cold. It really did drop on Saturday night.
It's sort of come out of the blue. I know he's been suffering with kidney problems for a long time, but I think for him to have actually passed away is a real shock for rugby and a real loss. He's a huge ambassador for the game. He's probably the first great true rugby player, the sort of global icon, if you like, and he'll be a real loss for the sport.
Do you have any favourite moments from when he played?
There's been a few. I suppose if you look back to the World Cup when he scored 4 tries, unfortunately it was against England, but he's just been an impressive athlete. You know, he had everything. He had good skills for such a big man, but he had pace and raw power, and he knew how to use it on a rugby field.
You did have quite a bit of support though, didn't you? And you've been raising money, of course, for a fantastic cause. Crucially, did you meet the target?
We did, yes. We are hoping that by the time we've got all the cash and donations in, that we should be somewhere around the £3,000 mark.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, a big well done to you guys. All that money, of course, going to the Framework Homeless charity. Now, they help over 11,000 vulnerable people every year, and they've been running the Sleep Out here on Stenton Market for several years now. Neil here is from Framework. Neil, last year, of course, I understand you raised about £30,000, which is a fantastic number in itself. How's it looking this year? Do we have a figure yet?
Yeah, we're still counting up, but we think it'll be around the £32,000 mark, which is fantastic.
Well, Notts County are preparing to face third in the league Northampton. More from the squad on tomorrow's programme. But as I've said, we're here at the City Ground with a whole host of Nottingham Forest legends. And joining me is a man that really needs no introduction. He is a Reds legend among these parts. And the current Republic of Ireland manager, of course, Martin O'Neill. Martin, thank you very much indeed for joining us. First and foremost, what's it like being back here in Nottingham?
Well, rather nostalgic, really, because first time I've seen the players. I know there was a launch here a couple of weeks ago of the film. I wasn't able to make it. I was on international duty with the Republic of Ireland. It was just nice to come back and see some of these lads again.
People not wanting to go into particularly team sports because of the homophobia that exists out there.